Welcome, fans. Welcome to the Ravens Football Junkies Podcast. It's your boy, Matt Bradby, and I'm rolling with...
You're rolling with your boy Dice, the Dice himself.
All right, man. How's your week been, man?
Man, it's been great. I can't complain, man. I see the snow coming down, so, we better get some snow. So.
Yeah, the snow. It's that time of the season, man. It's that time of the season. Man, a lot of stuff is going on with the Ravens, man. A lot of it's positive, man. We saw the feeling of all the coaches, man, and I was excited, but a little optimistic. I had to wind myself back in, Dice, and say, with all the additions, in a perfect world, everything would be cool, but we don't live in a perfect world. So, I'm excited about the additions. The growing pains going to come within the next 2 to 3 years, and I've been telling people, Dice, for real, don't expect a lot. You're going to see improvement, but don't expect Super Bowl or bust this first year because in all likelihood, McDonald, he didn't have it in year one. It was a growing situation. And in this is our first year. Everybody's all excited. And I want them to stay excited, but let's be realistic. What you think about that?
Well, like I said, we got all newcomers coming in, first of all. And, we got some young, go with the old, but, so a lot of the old went out the door. So it's just like a rewrap situation for us. We just trying to, turn over and do better, bringing in with the younger crowd and see how we do. I don't think personally, we're going to do bad at all. We should do good by bringing in the youth. You know what I mean? We got youth, young coaches, and they hungry. They want to get out there. They want to show themselves. They want to strive hard. So, let's go Ravens. Let's see what we can do in this year one with new coaches. Let's see what we can do.
Gotcha. But the big thing is today's show, we want to focus 100% on Isaiah Likely, future star, trade, free agent target. That's what we're going to focus on today. Isaiah Likely, the tight end position, and possibly the first few draft picks. So before we begin, I'm going to play this video clip. It was on the DraftKings. It was Isaiah Likely meeting with John Gruden. Then we're going to come back and we're going to break this thing down, all right?
A lot of things have changed.
Yeah.
First of all, you're a free agent. Tell me about how that's going. What's the strategy here?
Really just, letting my agent take care of everything. I just been, trying to work out, make sure I'm healthy, make sure everything's up and tight, and really just, talking and see where everything went.
When I was up there in the preseason, I sat in the tight end room. It was my tight ends are my favorite guys.
For sure.
Because we can kind of control the defense's personnel based on how many tight ends we use. And you guys, I call Patrick Ricard a tight end. You got Mark Andrews, obviously. You got Isaiah Likely, and we got Charlie Kolar. And, we're sitting in that room right there, and you were really, I think, expected to have a huge year.
Yeah.
You got hurt. What was the injury, and how did it impact your season?
So I had really fractured my fifth metatarsal. Just, a freak accident during one-on-ones in training camp, late in training camp. Had about 2 months, I want to say, where it was kind of gruesome. I mean, just in my head, really just, everybody telling me it's a contract year, everything I'm supposed to do. And I felt like, I was coming off a great season last year going into it. So, just had a lot of things in my mind, but, left it up to God, left it up to, my family, and just told myself to keep my head down, and when my time's ready to get back out there, get out there. So it took about three. I don't want to say I missed 3 games. Played in KC, but wasn't really like playing. I had my just coming out party, but I didn't really feel like myself till about Thanksgiving, and that's when I was really like being able to do everything I'm able to do with the ball.
This Jake Malasek, he and I, we like to find the young guys that are about to explode on the scene.
Yeah.
We had a tight end, Gunnar Helm, a Titan a couple weeks ago, and I've been keeping my eye on you for a long time. I had Darren Waller.
Yeah, that's my guy right there.
He's a joker. He played for the Ravens.
Yeah.
I call a joker a guy that can line up in any hand.
Yeah.
He can play in line. He can play in the slot. He can play out wide. That's what I love about your game.
For sure.
I'm just curious, with the Ravens, they paid Andrews.
Yeah.
Their quarterback makes a few bucks. You got a high-priced running back.
Yeah.
You got Bateman re-signed. He got paid. Zay Flowers is there.
Mm-hmm.
Can they afford you coming back there? I'm just curious.
I'd say, I love Baltimore. I mean, they took the chance on me when all 31 didn't. So, like, at the end of the day, I tell everybody, like, Baltimore's home for me. But at the end of the day, business is business. So I'm just really just seeing what's going to happen. Because at the end of the day, like you said, they got to pay Zay. You got to restructure L. Lindy's up, as you know. Then Mark, Bate are paid. So everything you got to just see.
But I think you got to have a vision of what you're going to be.
Yeah.
Like, who do you model your game after? Like, when you're sitting there saying, I could do that, I could be him.
Yeah.
Who is it Trey McBride? And who do you think that you could eventually be? Kelsey for the Chiefs?
I mean, when I watch, watching guys around the league, I obviously watch and try bits and pieces of what they do in the game and what they do on the field. Trey's definitely one of the guys I watch and be like, dang, because Trey was in my draft class, so watch Trey, I'll text him and be like, man, you just heard of somebody, like, that's cool. Or seeing what he's doing over there at Arizona Cardinals. Trav, obviously, the GOAT at what he does. Kittle, obviously, what he does. Mm-hmm. But, when I watch tape for real and just sit back, I usually watch a lot of Antonio Gates.
Yeah. Oh, you still got Gates tape.
Yeah.
Huh? George Godsey, your coach.
Yeah.
Your former coach would probably bring that stuff too.
For sure.
All right, now, Dice, you heard what the video said, man. Isaiah Likely was talking to John Gruden. You heard back and forth. You heard a lot of good information that we're not privy to. What do you think about this whole scenario, man?
Gotta be truthful with you, man. All our fans, I don't think we're gonna have him back from the talk that he had with him. It's a lot of venues that we can talk about Isaiah Likely, but the main topic I see, he just want what he want as far as money wise, and I don't think as far as the money issue right now that we have enough money to keep him on the books with us. You know what I mean? Because as far as the draft, we can go out there and get a couple of tight ends that we may want in the draft, but right now I just think that the open market is right now is he want to get paid. It just whatever we can do as far as keeping him here, trying to keep him here, I still don't see it, man. I just say that wish him good because I don't think he's gonna be a Raven.
When I looked at it though, first and foremost, shout out to Isaiah Likely. You deserve your bag. Seriously, you're not playing this sport just to get crumbs. So the business side, I'm not mad at him. He should go out there and get his bag. He's worthy of his bag. He's put in work. It's just that it was the scenario. It was in a draft year. Mm-hmm. They had talks. He got injured. The money they put on the table was withdrawn. He had a down year. Lamar had a down year. Everybody around the board had down years. It's just that the fact that he wants tight end one money, and he is deserving. He has a lot of potential. He has a lot of yards after catch. So, yeah, he deserves his bag. But this ain't the first time the Ravens let tight ends go. And I think a lot of people getting their emotions caught up where we let, Max Williams go. We let Todd Heap go. We let Dennis Pitta go. We've let a lot of tight ends go. And we never missed a beat, Dice. When one go, the next one came in. They were highly productive. Looking at Mark Andrews, a lot of fans are upset about trademark. The bottom line is he's under the radar. He's taken under the norm for his position. He's been real loyal to Baltimore. He can do the things we need done, a person with good hands to catch the ball. Yes, he's dropped the ball here and there, but it's not like he's fumbling all the time. He's dropped the ball.
Matt, but see, Matt, that one catch is not going to define him from him dropping that one. That one pass. Mark Andrews is the face of the Ravens as far as being out tight end. He always been a face here, so
right. And he's the number one. You're right. He's ranked. He has the receiving record for Baltimore.
I agree.
So he's not a bum. I say he. If you look at Kelsey, you look at the other tight ends, Kittles. They're up there in the age too, but they still playing at a high level. Right. And you can. And really, do you need a all-star tight end at that position, or can you say, okay, we got Mark Andrews. We can either re-sign Kolar, which I think they should do. He'll be cheaper than Likely, and then you draft somebody. I mean, it's a business. I love Likely. When my son went through his issues with cancer, he and Geno Stone were the two that chimed in and support him. So I support him. Go get your bag. The same way we said to Geno Stone, get your bag. You deserve it. The Ravens can't keep every piece. You know, I don't know what happened during the contract talks, but I know they gave him an offer and it was rejected.
Right.
And what I believe is that they may have given him an offer and he rejected it, and they sent it to Mark and said, Mark, is this okay? And Mark signed it. You know, that's how it is. You know, in this business, when you're getting long in the tooth or you want to do certain things, you have to make the decision that's best for your situation. And Mark jumped on it. It wasn't like the Ravens just went out there and said, we're going to extend Mark and leave Isaiah Likely because, he's a weapon. They want him, but it has to be the right price. Because they have a lot of other holes. Dyson, I know there's a lot of holes that the Ravens need to fill this year beyond tight end. Yeah. I mean, right now we only got one tight end under contract, but I mean, tight end ain't it's not to me a must-have situation right now when the line. You got Matt BK out there not knowing what his situation is. You need another covenant corner, a CB2. You need some depth at CB. You need another bull. Right. You need two more wide receivers. Exactly. And this draft is filled with a lot of good wide receivers from round 1 through 4 that you could probably get a steal. People keep saying, well, ain't no receivers out there in 4th round. Puka Nacua. You people don't know that name? And he's performing better than the ones that went in the 1st round in his draft.
Man, Nacua is doing everything. Right. That boy is good, man. So it don't matter. See, the thing about people, they fail to realize it's not about the first set of come off the draft. You can pick 4, 5, 6 rounders, you know what I'm saying, come out to be good. Look at your boy from Look at your boy from San Fran, the quarterback. He came out, Mr. Relevant, the last pick of the draft, and he's good. So, no matter where they go at, you just got to draft. When you drafting these individuals, you gotta look at more into them and see what they, what they can do, what they offer you. Because drafting, it takes a good draft class to make your team great. So, and that's one thing about Ozzie. When he was, doing his thing here as a GM, Ozzie always drafted real good. You know what I mean? So. We gonna be good this year. We gonna be good this year.
A lot of people have been calling out Eric DeCosta and all that, and I'm like this: Eric DeCosta has not done a bad job. If Eric DeCosta left the Ravens today, he would go to a team and make them a powerhouse. The reality is the fans get so caught up in their emotions, talking about, well, we should draft this and draft that, and years later, the same fans were complaining about Kyle Hamilton. Why did y'all draft a safety? We had this, and this. And it worked out best. He's the best, one of the best defenders in his class.
Look how look how he came out to be. Kyle Hamilton is the man.
He's the man. And that wasn't an Ozzie pick. That was a DeCosta pick. And again, he didn't. If you look at the drafts, if you hit it in the first 4 drafts, you're good. He has not been a slouch in those rounds. We've even had some good guys like who saw Teddy Buchanan being the starter this last year. He beat out Simpson.
I've been saying that though. Buchanan is nice, man. I love Simpson. Don't get me wrong, but Buchanan, he quick off his feet. He's fast. He reads coverage like.
I think Simpson. I mean, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody. I don't believe he was in a proper position and had the proper coaching he needed. Because I watched his games again, and I'm like, bro, if he had the proper linebacker coach, not saying he didn't, because you saw a difference in him this year under Santucci, the linebackers coach. He looked good this year coming in after Buchanan's injury. And I just think as a culture, the Ravens got to get better as a defensive-minded team. And I think we got that with the addition of Mickens to the secondary. You got your boy Anthony Weaver, DC. You got Mentor.
Y'all better watch
out. You got Santucci. You got a good group of men. Then to see your boy Levine come back, bro, to see him come back, man, what a big smile. So, and if you're going to say that this year the Ravens got to get back to bread and butter, play like a Ravens. You got 2 Ravens standouts on that team now that play solid defense. So they're not going to tell them boys nothing that they ain't used to.
Right.
You know, Anthony Weaver know what it's like to play. Right.
Yep, I
and
agree.
then you got Anthony Levine in the secondary. You got Mickens, coming in from college. I'm not worried. The problem I had, Dice, really with the team is we moved from our draft our players, develop our players, nurture our players to going out there trying to pick people off the free agency. Yeah. And I think that's what we hurt ourselves with, because when we were at our best, we would draft players, Dice. We would nurture those guys, and we had powerhouse teams off of what we draft. And it's going to cost you more money, Dice, to keep grabbing all these free agents as opposed to develop your own.
Well, as Eric DeCosta said, he don't like to pay for, players. He right. You know what I mean? He draft good, so it's no need to go out there and get these other players. As long as you draft good, that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
After drafting, see, DeCosta can draft a player. It's not his job to develop that player, bro.
No. You got other assistant coaches here and player personnel that can do that. You know what I mean? So we good on that end. The coaches that I see that he bring in, man, all I can see right now, number 1 and number 2 or number 2 defense for this year, I'm telling you, it's gonna hit like that because, like you just said, Anthony Weaver, Levine, you know what I mean? We stacked, man. We stacked. We stacked on paper. We just gotta go out there and play Ravens football, Back to the old Ravens football way.
And to have coaching to complement the players. I think coaching for the last 3 to 5 years, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, on all sides of the ball. McDonald was here. He did a good job. But coaching has been a problem with the Ravens. Using personnel in the proper position has been a problem. Last year, injuries was a big problem. But I believe that if we get these new guys in, along with the guys we drafted last year, and we put those guys into a program or a system of development, you'll see a lot more from this team, and you won't have this drama where we got to constantly go out and pick up pieces for 1 or 2 years. That's expensive.
Right.
We got to get back to
we need some longevity here, so go out there
and to get a player, develop them.
Yep.
You got to get a player, bring him in, develop that player, let him play, and let him earn his contract. People keep forgetting Isaiah Likely was homegrown. We picked him up. We put him in position. All right, let's get into our first segment. Is Isaiah Likely a tight end 1 material? Okay, is he? And I already put down some things, and I know you got some things why he can be a tight end 1. Number 1, he has elite receiving experience. I mean, he played basketball, and people like Antonio Gates, Tony Gonzalez. Those guys had background in basketball, and they can go up for the ball. If the ball is thrown for 50-50, and you saw it that last play of the offense last year before the missed kick, that boy went, bro.
Yeah. Man.
He tickled Bugs Bunny's tummy when he was on, Bugs Bunny and the Monsters. He went so far up in the air, bro. He saw a 747, a Southwestern airline go by. He caught the ball, he brought it down, and it's never been a knock on him, bro. It's not a knock on him. He's an elite receiving it. Yeah, if he gets on a team with a quarterback like a Josh Allen, he gonna be deadly, bro.
What? Yeah,
he gonna be deadly.
Yes. So
and then secondly, in the slot, if he's one of those receiving, he is a wide receiver in a tight end body.
I've been saying when he first came in here, his body wasn't really big enough to be a tight end. But
no, he was big enough. He actually was big enough. It's just the fact that that's his natural position. But as a wide receiver, he steps back to like a wide receiver 3 style because he is big. He can run routes, but he's more of a weapon as a tight end because he creates mismatches.
Yeah, but I think to be honest with maybe if they slide him out to wide receiver, man, what that boy can do, and he can go up and grab that ball.
But the problem is you put him on wide receiver.
I give him that, but if he got a one-on-one coverage, ain't nobody messing with Isaiah like on that. As far as a wide receiver. But I get what you're saying.
For a tight end, he has good speed. For a wide receiver, he had to get in and out the door. He's just too big to play a slot. And if he was on the outside, I just think tight end is his position. You can swing him out as a slot receiver, but he's improved on his blocking. He's been pretty good. He just hasn't been utilized because you have Mark in there, and they were splitting. They were splitting, and people said, "Well, why didn't he just kick Mark out?" Right.
Yeah, right.
Kolar, I suppose, had a lot of. It's the usage of him, and how many plays do you actually have in the game on the offensive side when you're a run first offense?
Right. That's what we are.
And somebody's going to miss out because we are run first offense. And when they stack the box, that's when the tight end position has been Lamar's safety valve. Mark is there, and I've heard through a lot of people that the idea was to sign Likely and move away from Mark if he wasn't willing to take a cap-friendly number with the team to re-sign. Right. But it just happened that it was the opposite, that Likely ain't like the numbers. He wants the bag in his first real contract outside his rookie contract. And Mark was like, give me the money. And Mark is by no way out of he got another, I say 3 to 4 years left in him of good football because he's not, he still can move. He's not as fast as Likely, but he's fast enough to get in and out his break to catch the ball.
I agree.
And if you're going to spend the money, right? But Dice, okay, here's the question to you: if you're going to spend the money, are you going to spend the money on a DE, pass rusher, or a tight end? You tell me.
I'm not going to spend on a tight end. I'll tell you that.
Not when you got one on the contract and you got several. Another thing why he could be a good tight end one is that he has a good rapport with Lamar. Him and Lamar developed some good chemistry in the last 3 years.
They did.
And he talks about it. He talked about it in the thing. He's like, Lamar, just put the ball there. I'm going to go get it. They had a good chemistry, and he trusted him. They built up some trust. Like I told everybody before on past programs, that really the Ravens was hoping to sign Mark on like a 2-year deal, which this really is, and have Likely and gradually bring him in. Like, okay, y'all two compete for this role, top man get it, and you can't go wrong with neither receiver. Neither tight end.
But see, if Likely's smart, I will sign here for like the minimum. Because even with Mark Andrews here, you gotta look at it. Likely will be he gonna be around once Mark Andrews gone. You know what I'm saying?
I don't. But here's the deal: because of the injury he sustained last year, football is the average player only got 4 good years. He has to go for the bag. Number one, everybody in America watch that playoff game, watch him go get that ball. Coaches out there, now remember, from the Ravens tree, the Giants would sign him.
Right.
Seattle would sign him. There are several teams that would sign him and give him the big money. So, out of Ravens' loyalty, but out of the big game, he's in it to make money. He's going to go out there and get the most money available. And I'm not knocking him on it. He going to go to a team and do something. And with Buffalo highlighting that, hey, they're not going to bring back Knox, there's a role and you got Josh Allen. He's a big talker. He can make it happen. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later. But he has the potential of being a Pro Bowler this year on the right team because he's gonna catch it. It's the only thing you got to worry about with him is his health. Okay,
That's it.
And then another pros why he could be a tight end one is that his yards after catch. We've seen it after he gets the ball, the boy's gone.
You ain't stop. You is not. Once he get that ball in his hand, he turn up.
You see his stiff arm?
Man.
You see his stiff arms, man?
I think
you see him throwing
talking to him. Yeah. Because man, his stiff arm been getting people on the ground like 2 seconds and they like get off me. You know what I mean?
Right.
He like the Heisman Trophy, like get off me.
He a big body player, and any team will be happy to get him, bro. Real talk.
Mm-hmm.
And then last, he has explosive play capability. We watched Lamar deliver the ball to him, and him go straight down that field, and he's moving. He is a weapon.
That last play of that Pittsburgh game, man, that was something when he caught that ball. They just knew they had Lamar sacked. Isaiah Likely went up there, just give me them. You know what I'm saying? He's like, give me them. And
put us in field goal position.
Say again?
Put us in field goal position. He did his job.
Oh, he did more than enough he needed to do. That one play just opened it up. Like, we didn't have to do nothing but sadly unsad our kicker. But it's okay. It's okay. You know?
If it's going to okay. Look, if that kick, if that kick is cost us to get a brand new coaching staff that we ain't yelling, put Henry in the game, and have a more efficient offense where we could probably build a dynasty in the playoffs, in the division round every year, then I'll take that any day.
Right.
You know, because if we keep settling for the past regime and make excuses for the past regime, we're going to get the same results as the past regime. You heard the offensive coordinator say, we're not worried about running in the last part of the thing. Running has to be a complement to the passing games every game. Every game.
Gotta be. That gotta be your number one priority.
You don't pull Henry out of the game in the third quarter and he cool off. If he could put 100 yards up on the board the first half, he should be doing 200 there.
Or more.
Right. So
you got to feed the person who's hungry, who's gonna get in the yard.
Right.
Don't stop feeding them. You know how Dallas Ezekiel Elliott and the Beats and from Seattle. I mean, feed them.
Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch will tell him, feed me.
Feed me.
You know, and it's funny, we run into the same problem that the Seahawks ran into in that Super Bowl. All you had to do is feed Marshawn Lynch. But he decided to do something cute.
You got 4 downs. You want to throw the ball 4 downs? Give it to him. He's going to one out of that 4. He's going to score.
I'm gonna tell you what really happened. You know what? That year was so much controversy for Marshawn Lynch. If he runs that ball in, does he win the MVP? They didn't want to reward him with that, bro.
No.
They didn't. I'm telling you, they didn't reward him. I don't care who wins the game. I'm a winner, so I'm going to put in my best option to win. And a lot of these coaches go through their egos and stuff, man, when Marshawn Lynch should have gotten the ball and ran in. Period.
I'll take a loss. This is my thing is, I'll take a loss. If I'm feeding him and Marshawn doing his thing, I'll give him the ball every down for them 4 downs and let him do his thing. Because guess what?
Facts.
He going to get you in that end zone. What it was, like 2 yards he had to get?
It was like 4. It was like 4.
4? Okay.
Yeah.
Beat him the first time.
Bro. They wasn't stopping him through the whole game.
Beat him the second time, fake him, He's going to get in that end zone.
Even if you do a lateral, even if you do a screen pass, I mean, come on. Him against a cornerback one-on-one, who you going to give it to? Right.
Marshall.
Right. All right. Now, what I did, Dice, is, we've been privy to seeing the positive parts of Likely, and I sent it over to you. The concerns with Likely is his inline blocking consistency. He's not a per se blocking tight end. And with that, being a TE1 like a Gonzalez, like a Antonio Gates, like a Kittles, like a Kelsey, those guys block. They block pretty good. So, I mean, you can always give him his kudos, but he has to get better consistently.
He's still developing
on his inline blocking.
Yeah, he's still developing.
But remember, when you look he's been here for 4 years. He's been in the league for 4 years. If he hasn't developed it, he may be who he is. So you take that in consideration when you look at a tight end. If he's a receiving tight end with a minimal blocking, he's not going to lose no money on that.
No.
He just won't be in on running plays for the most part. The second thing came up with his durability with the injuries. that foot injury, that freak foot injury and stuff like that. So that's a concern too, which I'm not really concerned with it.
No,
But
well,
when you look at the big picture, when you look at the big picture, right, injuries happen, but you look at how much money, because they're looking at him getting around about $45 million on the open market. I don't think the Ravens going to put that kind of money behind a tight end when if you had a chance of bringing like an A.J. Brown in and giving him the $45 million versus a tight end who you get that type of money to for 3 years.
Right.
Because right now the Baltimore Ravens still have to define who's our wide receiver one. Zay gets it by proxy because he's in the slot and he gets a lot of those passes. But the Ravens, and I'm not going to knock him. But when I look at a small receiver being a number one, they got to go to the cheetah. They got to go to your boy. He's a small receiver, but play after play after play, he's done it. Zay had issues with fumbling a couple times and stuff like that. So has he earned wide receiver one? And I'll put a question mark beside that. He's a good receiver.
He's a good
receiver of it. Yeah. But my thing is can you line him up on the outside and he be the man to change the game outside of being a slot or a gadget receiver? He's a good receiver.
He can change the game, but my thing is we still need that powerhouse person that can go down the field, tall receiver, like the Taz Walker situation we've been talking about. The boy is a monster, man. He put him in the game. He's going to get you touchdowns. He's going to be open. So we get that number one that's going to do it all around. Zay going to be open because why? Zay in a slot. Take some of that pressure off of him. But when you got that number one receiver, all that pressure comes off of him, and he can still get
Brown,
open.
A Justin Jefferson, a Jamar Chase, even a T. Higgins, a Puka Nacua. You could go down the line. Mike Evans, who's a free agent. We'll talk about that later. You got guys. You bring in Mike. Mike is the kind of, and I don't want to divvy off of likely because we getting back to him. Mike Evans is available, and he fits the Ravens mold of a receiver they bring in. A guy past his prime, but still productive, a big body target. He can get in here, and he can change a game for Lamar. Just knowing you got that, and a Mark Andrews at tight end, and a Zay in the slot, and a Henry in the backfield. And, Rashad Bateman has been a disappointment as of late, and I love him, but he's been injury prone, and then he gets on Twitter, social media, and airing out his ways, and that type of diva attitude goes with people more production. He's just crying the blues, but I always say this: man creates his own conditions. Come on,
I agree.
And he's been given the option. They gave him another contract when most of Baltimore said, "Let him go."
And the good thing is, he makes great plays. All he got to do is shut his mouth up, play his game. The boy Bateman is good, you know what I'm saying? But he just, again, like you just said, he injury prone. All that social media stuff need to cut out. Let his game do what it do. Let him be the player do.
Based on what he's done in the past, he I'm gonna be honest, he's not a Nico Collins.
No.
Look at the guys that's around his age. He's not a Puka. He's not a Jordan Addison. He's none of those. First round draft picks. He's none of them. He's a good receiver when he's played.
Exactly.
And I told people in a heartbeat, if I could put together a trade package to trade him and something to move up in the draft, I would do it in a heartbeat to draft one of these rookies coming out, because I think he needs a breath of fresh air. Baltimore needs a breath of fresh air. And it'll be a win-win to get a receiver in here who can play and challenge Zay for that number one position.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I would agree.
And then looking at, let's go back to Isaiah, because we get off the thing, we get excited about this stuff. His durability. And then they said, can he handle a full snap share? That's one of the things they were saying, because based on what most teams need, him on the field, not just for receiving downs, but can he consistently hold up with a full snap count like Mark has been doing for years? Mark can block. Mark can catch. Mark can run a route. That's the thing you got to look at.
Listen, like I've been saying, and I know we keep cutting back off of Isaiah, but Mark Andrews has been the face of the Ravens for him when he first came in as a tight end. He blocks well. He catches well. Now, like I said, that one miscue of a catch when we play. Who was that? We played Buffalo. You cannot define Mark Andrews for that one play. Now, Isaiah Likely, on the other hand, he make great plays. He blocks, yes. But again, it comes down to that point where you say, is he worth tight end money? We're not going to have two tight ends on the books like that. We're not. I love him, but he's he can get open and can catch that ball. But is he going to do that consistently? Is he tight end one material? We don't know that. We don't know that because of the fact that what's out there for us a money issue right now, and we're not going to pay him that type of money that to continue here unless he's going to take a major pay cut and just stay here until Andrews his time is up or something like that. I can't see it.
He's going to follow his boy is Darren Waller, as he said in the interview. So Darren Waller was a possession receiver, tight end, and he went out and got he revived his career. But you also got to look at it, and it's the reality is that Isaiah Likely is not as a complete tight end like a Andrews, like a Kelsey, and like that. And in knowing that, I always ask this question. I'm going to ask the viewers out there and those watching. I want you to answer it in the comments. If Mark Andrews missed the full season, would Likely make the Pro Bowl being able to take every snap? That's what I'm going to ask them. If Mark Andrews missed the full season, could he hold up based on that Ravens run game and our style of playing?
Right.
Because you've seen him being pulled off the field, and Charlie Kolar has been in there being that more complete tight end. And Mark has been so good that he's cost Kolar some spotlight because he was a beast in college. But coming here, he was tight end 3 or tight end 2A, 2B, where he had to take a back seat. But he's another one that if people studied his game, they could go out there and get some money.
If you match up Kohler right now from these last couple of games that he played, I think it wouldn't be a problem to let Isaiah Likely go. Why? Because Kohler can get open and he can catch that ball too now.
Yes.
One thing about it, we always have those tight ends that can do it and get us the ball.
Right. I was telling people earlier, and I had people get mad at me, Dice, when I told them I would sign Mark Andrews to a 2-3 year deal and sign Charlie Kolar to a 4. He'll be cheaper.
How about that?
He'll be cheaper. And can he do what Max Williams did? Can he do what Dennis Pitta did? Can he do what?
Of course.
So if Mark go down, could Kolar come in and be that complete tight end at that position?
Most definitely. Look at his game. His game speaks for itself.
Right?
No question. Every time you throw to him, he's gonna get open. He's gonna throw a good block.
Right.
He's gonna catch that ball down the field.
Gotcha. All right. So don't forget. I want y'all to answer in the comments. If Mark Andrews missed the full season, would Likely make the Pro Bowl? Okay. All right. Now we talked about Likely. I love Likely. I love his explosiveness. I love his game. I want him to stay here. But in reality, if he moved on, what I did, Dice, was I looked up the teams, contending teams needing a weapon. And the first team that popped up was the Buffalo Bills.
Woo-wee.
Can you imagine Likely on the Buffalo Bills?
I can. And I'll say that because Josh Allen is, don't get me, I love my Lamar Jackson here, but he's another weapon to be messed with. And if you got Josh Allen and Isaiah Likely teaming up together, that's going to be stuff on the AFC real bad, man. So I can see that.
This is what I got 3 bullet points to say why, out of all the people out there, why he would be a perfect fit for Buffalo. Now, I know that a lot of fans will get mad. Why are you talking about Buffalo? Well, the bottom line is we're the Ravens Football Junkies, quote-unquote football junkies. And we look at the big game, not just our home team. Like it is. Josh Allen thrives with middle targets. He thrives. He has a high volume passing offense. And then also he would go in as an immediate tight end one. He would.
Oh, yeah,
because he's a catcher.
Yeah, that probably wound up being Josh Allen's main target to go to. Just like how we had Lamar and Andrews. That might be his main target he go to because why he gonna get
like
open?
Brady,
Brady
and his Gronk, Brady and rest his soul. What's that other tight end they had? The one that died in prison.
I know you're talking about. I can't think of his name right now, but
yeah. When Gronk and him was together, they were monster mode. You couldn't match up against those two guys.
You definitely couldn't. If you double down on one of them gonna be open. You better bring that whole D-backs in the tackle both of them boys because one of them boys gonna get open, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Facts.
Woo-wee.
Facts. And they said, with the Bills, it was anticipated that he could post monster numbers as a tight end, in that scheme because the way they use Knox and the rest of those boys. The second team, they said the second nightmare scenario for us would be the Cincinnati Bengals. And here's why.
Now that one, man, listen, and I'll say this because we both smiling on that. When you got Jamar Chase there and you and the other receivers,
Higgins,
he go there, man. That will be scary. That would be scary.
They called it a nightmare scenario.
Yeah.
A nightmare. Why? Because Burrow has precision passing. Defenses focus on his wide receivers, where most of the time his tight ends are open. Remember when they had Hayden Hurst that year? He excelled as a tight end with them. And it could be a deadly third weapon on offense. They got a running back. You'll have two wide receivers and a tight end who's a mismatch. How do you defend against those weapons?
Let's just hope he do not go there. I'll say that.
It's the Ravens. It's a Raven fans' worst case scenario nightmare. Oh, wow. And don't think the Bengals won't look at him because they took Geno Stone when he was intercepting everything that year.
Right.
So they're open. They said the number 3 team would be the Chicago Bears as support for the young quarterback. They said, he would be there. He would be to Chicago what Mark Andrews was to Lamar early on as a good safety valve for a QB. And then, he could be an offensive centerpiece because they got 2 young receivers.
Yes.
In the draft, and they're good. They still have DJ Moore, who might, be on the open market. And then, bringing him in, he could be a long-term tight end one for them. They got a good tight end there, and Kemet, he's there. Bringing, Isaiah in. But remember what Isaiah said. He wants to be the number 1 tight end. And in the NFL today, Dice, you just don't say you want it. You got to go out and win that position.
You got to. It ain't going to be handy.
He isn't going to come in and say, right.
No. And they going to give it to you and say, well, Platt, you got to go earn that. You got to go earn that. What you think about this, man? I know we talking about Isaiah Likely because I found it kind of funny when he was at the basketball game and they talking about come on home, talking about the New England Patriots. What you think about Isaiah Likely going to the New England Patriots?
Well,
because that is his home, So,
right, I mean, if they got the cap room, which they have pretty good cap room, that could be a possibility for them too, for him going to become a Patriot. I mean, I really see it. The Patriots got to get another weapon on offense.
Yeah, I agree.
A tight end may be it as a safety valve for Drake. He performed poorly down that final stretch of the season, his numbers. And a tight end may be what he needed.
I agree.
If he got the receivers to stretch the field, he Booty. I like my son like to say his name. He was like Booty. With the Patriots, Diggs didn't really do a lot for them in the postseason, but to have him in his tight end would be a phenomenal stretch too. But I got another team though too, Dice. The Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes, Lawrence excels with X. He has a good tight end now, but he would excel running a 2 tight end set with Isaiah Likely.
You know what that would look like? And woo-wee. Lawrence would have a fit.
He would have a fit because it's a perfect play action weapon. He's a perfect play action weapon, and he's also a red zone mismatch. You know, outside of him losing that ball during that catch in the end zone, that was a catch. Everybody saw it was a catch. They make up rules as they go because I always tell people the NFL plucks my daggone nerves because if you can cross the plane and the ball crosses the plane in your hand and you hit the ground and it pops out, that's still considered a touchdown.
Listen, man, you coach the game. I coach the game. When that ball break the ball, like you just said, the plane of the goal line, you come down. You only need but 2 feet. Now they talking about you need 2 feet and a move. Come on now, the ball already. It's already
bro,
in the
end
zone.
It was a touchdown. It was a touchdown, bro.
They just the Ravens get so much hatred on them so much that it's hard to play the team and the refs together because we can't win with that. You know what I mean? All these new calls that's coming in. When I played the game, we ain't have all this stuff going on. We ain't have all, we ain't had
you had to break the plane. Huh? So let me ask you a question. If that's true, what happens when a guy catches the ball with two feet in and then he fall out of bounds?
Right. Right. Did he make another move? No, he just fell out of bounds. So you trying to tell me that that's not a touchdown? Come on, man. They make up stuff as they go along. That's why I say they changing the game and they making it for us viewers that's looking at the game now. It's making it like don't even want to watch it because we seen that is being rigged or it's been something new every year. It's being put in place. It's not right. Leave it alone. If it's not broke, don't try to fix nothing that's not broken. Everything.
Well, Dice, I look at it like this. The NFL is always evolving, and sometimes they evolve too much. They try to fix too much. Leave it alone. I just got an idea. The team that I think is going to be the most aggressive for Isaiah Likely?
Go ahead, talk to me.
Las Vegas.
Oh.
New regime.
Raiders?
New quarterback. They're going to get the first pick. They're going to pick the kid. I forgot his name, but the kid is coming out. He's going to pick him. And what a better place for him to go to be the safety valve for a new quarterback.
Is that the one you're talking about? That he won a championship in a Wisconsin Bowl?
Yeah. We should know the name, bro. We getting old, bro. That's why that gray hair in our beards. We just getting old. But that kid right there, we all know, everybody know. Y'all can put it in the comments what his name is. We'll figure it out before it's over. But he would be number one. The Raiders got the most cap room, a lot of cap room. He could be a centerpiece weapon. They can invest in this position for a few years. They can sign him on a 4-year deal. And he could be he'll have a lot of targets. He'll have a lot of targets. Especially for a young man. And then what think about it. Didn't the Raiders take Darren Waller?
They did.
Didn't he have Pro Bowl years there?
He did.
Right. Young team. He would come in as that veteran tight end. He would be able to get and I think they got a tight end named Meyer. They drafted too. Or was it Bowers or whatever?
Where he came from? Was that Cincinnati? No. That was
no, they drafted one. Let me see something real quick.
They did.
Raiders. I'm gonna look that up real quick.
Okay.
Because we definitely need it. Raiders. TE. I'm gonna check this out real quick, bro. I ain't gonna get past me on this one. The Raiders tight end is, I think it's Bowers. They drafted him.
It is Bowers. That's him. That's it. That's who it is. Bowers.
Yep, Brock Bowers. He's their franchise weapon. Elite receiving, dangerous after the catch, could line up anywhere online, slide a backfield, top tier athleticism. Okay? So they could sign Bowers. And while we looking at it, Raiders first pick this year. All right, I'm gonna get this out the way. Mm-hmm. They said quarterback. The team up. What is that kid name? They ain't give me the name. They retarded. I tell you,
that's
boy.
how it always be when you trying to look up something, right? Yeah, but that's what we do. We're gonna give it to them straight. We're gonna get the verse straight, So
yeah, I'm gonna get this right.
Yeah,
Top
we got
3
to.
in this
We
draft.
don't want to put no mixed information out there.
No,
So
not in
that's
this
not what we
lifeline.
do here.
The draft room. But you always got these goofy teams that will draft anybody.
Yeah,
Top
right.
5 in NFL drafts this year. Yeah, it's gonna give me the information I want right now. Top 5 in the NFL draft this year. I said this year.
It's giving you some off the wall stuff, ain't it?
Man, it gave me last year.
Man.
All right.
This new technology now and stuff, man, it's coming out. You gotta watch it because they give you what they want to give you.
It ain't giving me. Well, I'll figure it out later, man. I ain't gonna sit here and occupy the time. But that kid coming out of college this year, hands down, he needs a Isaiah but he already got a Bowers, so they may not be. The money he's asking for, then the Raiders may not be a spot for him because they already got a top tier tight end. I don't see them paying that much money for one position. That's one thing. So, teams like Jacksonville, teams like the Bears, teams like Cincinnati, but the Bills are like
only unless they pay him that money and stretch the years out more, like 4 or 5 years.
I don't see them. They got Bowers. If he wants top tier money, it's not going to be with the Raiders. They're not going to pay for. They're not going to take Bowers off the field, and it's going to be the same scenario as he has here in Baltimore. Bowers has proven his number one slot. You're bringing on Isaiah Likely that was using sparsely. They're not going to gamble with Isaiah Likely when you got a guy who's been their starter and is an elite tight end. He gonna fall in the same position as here in Baltimore. A place like Buffalo, place like Cincinnati will fit him better because they're looking for a TE1, and he can go in and take that position right away.
I agree, but I don't want him to go to Cincinnati. That's too much.
I don't want to go up to the Bills, but it looks like if they got that.
Get him out the AFC. Period. We don't need that trouble. If you're not a Raven, you can't be in our division. You can't be in the AFC. You gotta go NFC, NFC West, NFC South. You can't be in the AFC, man. You cannot.
I'm with you. And then the last team that the experts say was the Denver Broncos, and why he fit because Sean Payton loves versatile tight ends.
Yep. That'll work.
Sean Payton would create plays, especially for his tight end, and he would be that joker role potential, line up as a wide receiver when needed.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask, look, I got another question for him. I'm asking all you fans, which team would unlock Isaiah Likely's full superstar potential? Would it be Vegas? Would it be Buffalo, which I say Buffalo? Would it be Cincinnati? With them passing the way they are, he would have a great year there. Would it be Denver or another team? Y'all tell us. Look, I'm gonna throw in another one, and Dice is gonna break your heart.
Go ahead.
You know what it is, right?
You're breaking the hearts for all these
Kansas City. Kansas City.
Don't do it to me, Matt. Don't do it to me.
You know, Mahomes would love a. Come on. They would love.
He would have a field day with him. Yes.
Kittle's getting older. Kittle's and Kelsey, both of those guys are getting older. San Fran and Kansas City would love a player like him.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
They would love a player like him.
Well, I would say any team would love a Isaiah Likely. I'm gonna put it out there. Any team will. It goes down to like we said again. The money issue. If they got the cap right, the needs and the money issue. That's it.
Because we already got if you look at all the teams in the NFL, who needs a tight end the most? And I would say Buffalo, Cincinnati, the Jets.
Oh, yeah, Jets need one most definitely.
And they got money.
They need everything.
And they got money.
Yeah, and they got money. Right, and they got money.
The Giants.
Now, if we go there,
you know who his coach is. You know who his coach is.
Yep.
And here's another sneaky one. What about the Browns?
Matt, I can't stand you.
They
right
got
now.
Fanning. They got Fanning.
In our division, you went. You said Cincinnati. Oh wow, yeah, he would love that. That would be a good pickup for them. But when he go there to play, that's I don't know. See, a player can get the bag, but they also got to look at: do I want to be on this team because of just the money, or do I want to be on this team because I think we can win? Now, if I'm playing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because he's not gonna get here. He's not gonna get that money.
Hey, we got to go back. For some reason, it stopped recording. So I'm gonna splice this. All right, we were talking about likely going to a top team, and Dice, you were saying that pretty much that he has to make the decision on whether he wants the money or potential Super Bowl landing spot. But if you look at it right now, there are several teams out there now who would love to have him and are perennial playoff teams every year. You know, we said the Buffalo Bills, which I think they got the room. They're going to make it happen with a new coach. You still got that gunslinger and Josh Allen. That would make them dangerous. You got the Broncos, young team, need a tight end. You got the Jaguars, who could use another tight end. And right now, with a lot of young new coaches moving around, a lot of them are us. Seattle would take him.
You're right.
Chargers would take him.
Yeah. Giants would take him.
I'm going to tell you somebody else.
Go ahead.
Houston would take him.
Oh. Now that one, yeah. That's another topic. But they got
Cleveland Browns would take him.
A hell of a defense. They do. And having an eye like
and they got a plethora of young receivers.
Yeah.
All they need is that superstar tight end to unlock the receivers.
That's it.
So, and if you look at it in a nutshell, bro, there's a lot of teams looking for tight ends. And in talking about that, I did a list of the top 10 tight ends that's in the draft this year. And everybody know the guy Keon Sadiq from Oregon, hands down. Yeah. He gonna go in the first round. He going in the first round, bro.
Most definitely, easy. Yeah. If he don't go first round, something wrong. That boy is.
Bro, listen,
man, his game.
He has elite speed. He separates. He's a big play weapon, and he fits this modern passing profile for tight ends.
And he can catch that ball.
Bro,
he got hands.
The boy got hands and speed. And speed. If the Ravens at 14 say bump everybody, we grabbing Keon Sadiq. What would happen?
Wow.
Because, big play weapon. Man, I'm going to tell you something. Baltimore fans, or what have you done for me lately? They'll cry and murmur when Isaiah Likely goes somewhere. But if you bring in Keon Sadiq and that boy get out there and get funky like an old batch of collard greens, catching the ball, being like they ain't going to be thinking about no Isaiah Likely.
They won't. See, they always, like you just said, our fans are like some, Tommy, because 1 minute goes, they doing a player doing good for us, and they wishing them good. They go to another team like, oh, why you get rid of him? Why you do this? Why you do that? But you got to look at it. If he's not, as far as the market value for us, if he, or if it's too much of spending on this player, we're gonna have to let him go. We can go get some more players. We're gonna have to go get some more players.
We need a lot more than just a tight end right now.
Yeah, most definitely.
So, but the bad what the experts say about him so far. I'm gonna be watching the combine a lot too, but they said one of his issues is his weaknesses is inline blocking. He still needs work with blocking, and he's still developing as a complete tight end, which means the blocking aspect of the run game he still don't have under par, but you can make up with that by putting Mark in or signing Charlie Koloff for those games. But for the most part, you don't get a freak of nature with his speed. I wonder what he gonna clock. They say he ran like a 4.3 something.
4.3
up a 3.44.
I think
that boy,
he's fast.
Right.
He's fast.
He's fast. And as a tight end, what would that do in the middle of the field? Linebackers can't catch him. He's too big for right.
If see the thing about that, you have him with like you said, like an Andrews or Kohler, man. You know what that's gonna look like.
Right.
His ability itself speaks for itself.
Right.
Like, he got hands. He will get you enough. You give him enough touches, the boy can be explosive.
I'm gonna say this:
he's a monster.
The year, look, the year we drafted Hamilton, we did not need we didn't need a safety.
No,
you had Clark, and you'd already brought in the kid from Williams.
Right, but
he was just the best player on the board at that time.
Yep.
And if this kid is on the board at 14, do the Ravens pull the trigger and bring in this passing beast?
Why not? I would go get him.
Because the Ravens, everybody was predicting all kinds of stuff. The Ravens broke the norm and drafted a safety. Will they break the norm and grab this kid first round?
I think they will. If he's there to be taken, which I seriously doubt. I think he will be a good grab, man. Because who's gonna be able to stop him? Like we get him, it's game over. It's game over.
You hear that Pac-Man sound? Little flip. Game over.
Game over.
All right, so Dice. So what I did is also if we don't take 9 times out of 10, we're not going to take a tight end in the first round. This is we've done it in the second, we've done it in the third, we've done it in the fourth. So what I did was tier 2, day 2 prospects. Eli Stowers from Vanderbilt. Gotcha. He's an explosive athlete. He was a former QB. He's a little undersized and he has blocking limitations. But they predicted him to be a top pick second day. Okay. Then they got the guy Max Clare. He's a smooth route runner for Ohio State. I watched a couple of games with him in it. He has reliable hands, but they said he's not really strong, so he can be overpowered. I'm being honest, and looking at him, I would take the Ohio State Max Clare over the Vanderbilt Eli Stowers because the bottom line is he has those hands, he runs smooth routes. And if he could be overpowered, how many tight ends you see with elite power? You don't.
None. Not that many.
And if he's still around at the third pick or fourth round pick, what do?
Go get him.
But the one guy that I say, if you're looking for like a Charlie Koloff style guy, with a little bit of speed, the guy Joe Royer from Cincinnati, which was He had a big frame. He's a big body, blocking pretty good. He's a red zone weapon. The only problem they say is his speed. He don't get a lot of separation. But could you work out with a guy as a third, fourth pick that got good hands that can fill that void in case Mark go down?
Yeah. See, we got to think about that in the long run, just in case he go down, because we need that other extra body that can fulfill, his shoes.
Right. Now, I slated for like the fourth round, the guy Michael Triggs. Michael Trigg from Baylor. He's a vertical threat, has that speed, can catch, can, run routes real well. He's a mismatch, bro. I have seen him juke cornerbacks to their ankles left on the field. He is a weapon. And you can get him around the fourth round.
Yeah.
You know, the only inconsistency is his blocking. And I'm seeing this with all the cornerbacks. They say inconsistent with blocking. You can develop that, but you can't teach good hands. You can't teach speed. And you can teach route running, but if they're natural at it, do you skip over him to grab a receiver, or do you grab a vertical threat mismatch in the middle of the field?
I'm going with the mismatch with the field.
Right. Because you can deploy as he learning how to block. You ain't got to use him right now because Mark is still under contract.
Right. Exactly.
What's going to happen is year 3, he going to have the same problem. Do we extend Michael with Andrews on his way out? You know, that's a good problem to have. And by then, they could extend him before he even think about hitting the open market.
But at that time, he won't be, you know, we had to offer him a contract because, well, he'll be on his rookie contract, right, still, right?
Right. You can extend him early and get it out the way.
Right, exactly.
All right, and I got a couple more in here. Tier 3, these guys could probably go at the late day 2, early day 3, somewhere around there. The guy Jack Indries from Texas, you know, he has a large catch radius. He's real athletic, but he needs to get stronger. And I think he can get stronger. I'm not worried about his strength. My thing is, can he catch? And remember, these are the same things they said about Charlie Kolar. These are the same thing they said about Isaiah Likely. These are the things they said about Mark Andrews, because Mark Andrews wasn't the first tight end we took.
Right.
It was Hayden Hurst.
He
was number 2. So in this draft, the Ravens may grab 2 tight ends.
I got a funny feeling they might do, because we always, when we draft tight ends, we always grab them by 2s anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
You know, what about the Dickinsons that we had? What about the, you know, when we had with Heap and Max Williams and man, we had some tight ends. You know what I'm saying? The one that had the hip injury. What was his name for us? Went out with his hip messed up. But he was a good tight end.
We had Todd Heap. We had Dennis Pitter.
That's his name. Pitter.
Yeah.
So
with his hip.
Yeah, man. If Pitter would have been good too, man. If he didn't go out with his.
But when Pitter went down,
wow.
You brought in. Yeah, you look at all the guys that came in after him. You almost forgot about them because they came in and they produced.
Yeah.
They also got Justin Jolly from North Carolina State. You know, he's strong in contested catches. He can get up there, catch the ball, but the problem is the experts say he has limited upside, which means he's like locked in. I don't believe in that as much as most people say. I think a man, if he's young and he can still learn and he's around the right coaching environment, he can get better.
Listen, you can say all you want to say, but when you bring here and a Raven good coach that we got right now that can coach him, they could turn all your them naysayers around. Like, whatever. You could put all that in my ear all you want. Let me choose the player who I want and go grab. I'll develop him. I'll make him better and show him the ropes, and so he can be who his whole potential can be. You know, they talk too much, man. The media always got something going on. You know it, man. I know it. You know,
man. They be blowing these boys' draft choice. You got the guy Eli. His name is Eli Reardon from Notre Dame. He is he's big. The kid's big, and he's raw. I'm gonna be honest with you though. I'm gonna be honest. The Ravens have a proclivity of getting big guys, and they never pan out to nothing. Honestly,
right.
Ben Cleveland, Falele. No. So I don't want them to grab him as a run blocker. We need a guy that's pretty much can get in there, catch the ball, get in there, do what he has to do to spell Mark Andrews. If Andrews went down with a considerable injury, that we don't miss a beat.
Right.
So in that being said, I do like, out of all these guys for the second day, Oscar Delp from Georgia. And the reason I like Oscar, because he has a balanced skill set. He's not the best at anything, but he's good at everything. See what I'm saying? He don't have an elite trait, but he's good at blocking. He's good at catching. He's good at run route. You can get him around the 4th, 5th round.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I will agree with that.
You know.
Yeah.
So, you know, and in free agency, you know, we just finished doing through the college rank. There's going to be a lot of tight ends available. And let me see who's out there. What do you think from what I was saying about the last guys while I look this up?
You spoke about Justin, what's his name, Jolie and Eli from Notre Dame. Those guys, man. You didn't speak about the kid from Baylor. What's his name? Michael something. From Baylor.
I hit him up.
Yeah. So
I talked about him a little bit.
You did talk about Michael, yes, but he's another one. Like I say, all these kids, man, can potentially can be 3, 4, even second rounder. But bring them in. You got to develop. You got to develop.
You want to hear something? I got a listed. I just went online and I found the list of top free agent tight ends this year.
Okay.
You know who number 1 is?
Who is that?
Kyle Pitts.
Oh,
Atlanta, former top 5 pick, wide receiver like ability, is only in his mid-20s, and he's going to command a huge contract.
Yes, and he might get it. That boy.
Oh, he gonna get it.
Good, man. That boy.
I think the Falcons may try to keep him, bro.
Yeah, they gonna have to. Why not? If you be a fool not to, you know what I mean? That boy on film looks great. Hands, speed.
Man, Kyle Pitts, he's the number 1. He's the number 1 tight end. The second is Dallas Goddard. I can't pronounce that man's name.
Where you from?
From the Eagles. Eagles, Dallas Goddard. He's
okay.
available, strong blocker and receiver, proven playoff performer, reliable chain mover. He's the number 2 tight end listed in this season. Number 3 is Travis Kelce. He's available. He's still elite if he plays. Kelce, he hasn't made up.
Going over there. He not leaving no Mahomes, man. Come on, Matt. He's not. If he leaves Kansas City,
him and Taylor Swift, baby. Him and Taylor. They like, okay, you'd have made enough money. Taylor Swift, baby. Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Just as you said that. Yeah.
Taylor, baby. I mean, think about his Dice. What do he have to play for anymore? He done got enough rings.
He got rings.
He's already locked in the Hall of Fame.
Right. So
if he steps off, well, he's the number 3 top. Number 4 is David Njoku.
Oh, now that's a good look.
And they say explosive after the catch, a red zone threat, and he's still productive. He's like 28, 29 years old. Wouldn't it be funny if the Ravens picked him up with a nice contract?
That'd be great. I like him.
He could be cheaper. He'd probably be cheaper than Likely.
He'll be.
And then under him, the number 5 is Isaiah Likely, elite receiving tight end, big playability, tight end 1 upside. You know, he's drawn a lot of interest. But that David Njoku, if you're looking for a 2-year tight end and he's within your money, I'd grab David Njoku.
I will. Yeah, I will.
He still got the speed after he catches the ball. I mean, you got to look at it. If you're going to spend $12 million on a tight end, right, and you link it to him and you give him roughly about $6 million a year, you can sign him a 2 or 3 year contract and have he's experienced, having Njoku and a Michael Andrews.
Lights out.
And then you got Likely. You know, you want to hear a couple more as free agents?
Go ahead.
You got Cade Otton from Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Tyler Higbee from the Rams.
Yeah.
You got Noah Fant. You got Darren Waller, Austin Hooper, Zach Ertz. And this guy right here from the guy from Tennessee, I can't pronounce his name. Onkwo, African name.
I know you're talking about, but I can't pronounce it either. Don't be bad.
I mean, so I'm looking at a lot of tight ends open. So this is, with a strong tight end class and these guys out here, if Likely, you can't sign Likely, it's not the end of the world.
It's not.
It's not the end of the world.
That's what I want our fans to know, that we don't need the crowd with spilled milk. Because let me tell you something. We get players all the time. Players come and goes. We can't If we ain't got the money to grab him and keep him, let him go. Why? I mean, it hurt us. A lot of players came through the Ravens, and we like, what he gonna do? What can he do? When they go to play for other teams, do they be productive? Not all the time. Not all some, but not all the time. And
bro, I'm gonna say like
tight ends. We always have tight ends, so it doesn't matter whether it's the draft or whether free agency. We're gonna have tight ends. We are. So we
always,
good.
Always. Yep. So I mean, a lot of times though, we're gonna close out the day because I know we're getting kind of long, but we're gonna close this one out, and then here's real talk, bro. A lot of times as fans, we fall in love with players, and that's the norm. But we gotta understand, because there's a salary cap and the way teams are structured, you can't keep them all. And when we had guys like Judon, Suggs. There's a plethora of guys that went out on the free agent market and moved on. They moved on. You can't keep them. You wish them the best. You stay fans of them, but they go. But remember, just because you was a star in the Ravens system, don't make you a star in other team systems.
You got that right.
Or the coach use you appropriately. And we've seen players leave the Ravens, go out there, and it shows. Like, I mean, my man Geno Stone, he don't look nowhere near what he looked like in the Baltimore system over there with Cincinnati, who had the worst defense. So I see Isaiah Likely, but Isaiah Likely did make a note that he only wanted to go to with a contending team, which meant like a team like Buffalo, a team like the Broncos, the Patriots. I don't think he would look at Seattle, Chargers, the Rams, somebody like that. But it's up in the air. It's his decision to make. All the Ravens can do is give him a proposition of what they value him at. And if somebody overpays, every year they overpay for players. Every year.
All the time.
But here's the thing. If Isaiah Likely were out there and there was no Kyle Pitts, he would be a number one pick. But there's a lot of free agents out there that are a tad above him that in the right offense he do. But you got to look at, if you have a choice to spend $45 million on a tight end, would it be Likely or Pitts?
If I got the money,
spend $45 million on a tight end.
I like Isaiah Likely, but I'll take Pitts.
I'm taking Pitts all day. He blocks. He runs. He's elite. Yeah. He's elite. Yeah. He's elite.
Yeah.
I agree. Now, if you had that same $45 million, and you had him and Njoku, who would you take?
Njoku.
Now, Dallas Goedert and Likely, I take Likely.
Likely, most definitely.
Because he's younger. He has a lot. So, if he's within the top 3 to 4 free agents, and the ball is in his court, he has to make a decision. Is this something that he want to do? And I don't go get the bag. But I'm telling you one thing: if the Bills call him,
he's going,
and they give him the money,
he'll be
there.
It's
a wrap.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
And that's going to make them so much better.
A lot better. A lot better. Having a for Josh Allen, come on now. Yeah. You already know.
Facts. So fans, tell us what you think about this. We want to know what you think. Should the Ravens overpay to allow Likely to stay, or should we look at the free agents and look at the draft and to bring in the next level and save us some money? Tell us what you think. Dice, I'm gonna ask you, what do you think? Should we overspend? So we give 50 million, 45 to 50 million to keep him, or opt in to take a tight end in the second and third day and maybe pick up a free agent?
You see my bobblehead? You see my bobblehead? No.
I know. See, fans can say what they want. If you play Madden, you can pick whatever team you want. But in real life, though, the man deserves his money. The man deserves his payday. It's his choice to make. If he want to stay with the Ravens for a 2-year deal that's friendly, fine. I don't see it happening. He's already let you know in the interview that he's ready to go. He don't want to be in nobody's shadow. And if he wants to go somewhere where he can put up the numbers and get a team over the hump, it would be the Bills. It would be the Patriots.
Yeah.
It may be Kansas City.
Yeah.
You know, and Kansas City got cap issues, but you saw what your boy did. You know, of all the problems that the Kansas City had with their receiving, you know, Rice and them, to bring him in and to put him at tight end. And if Kelsey decide to bounce, that's his team. You know, and you know Mahomes throws the ball. He would have a great. He has a great coach in Andy Reid.
Yep.
So you know that's nothing that. All right, and wrapping this show up today, man. You got anything to say?
I just want our subscribers to subscribe and hit that like bell to make us more better, and we can keep on broadcasting. You know, so fans, just do us one favor. You know, click that like button so we can continue to do what we do.
That's right. That's right. All right, man. It's been a blast talking about these tight ends. When we come back, man, we're going to talk about the draft. I'm only going to do the first 5 rounds of the draft, so we're going to just tell them our honest opinion. The first 5 rounds, who we think the Ravens should pick based on their needs and who's on the board. And we want y'all to join in. We'll talk to you guys later. All right, every Monday, 8 p.m. You know where to find us. All right? And just like John Harbaugh, baby, we out of here. Peace.